I'm Adam Maness.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
Daily jazz advice coming at you.
That's right.
Today, we got the 12 sexiest jazz musicians. What? Get the mood going.
Yeah.
And if that didn't get you in the mood, then you're a human being. All right, so we shied away from this. No, we didn't. We just came up with the idea. And
I was going to say, we didn't shy away from anything.
Well, it made it all the way to season 2 before we got to the sexiest jazz musicians. But this kind of started out as a joke, but then...
Oh, wait, so this isn't 7 favorite sextets. This is...
Yeah, that's what gave me the idea, actually. We have, coming up soon, we had a question about sextets, but that got me thinking about sexy jazz musicians. It's like, why not, you know?
All right, so first of all... Is there such a thing as a sexy jazz
Well,
musician?
that was what I was thinking, that we weren't going to be able to find any. But as I started kind of thinking about it, I think so. I mean, sexy is different for all different people. I think in our over-sexualized society, modern society now, it's only thought of as a visual thing. But I think jazz music has always been sexy, right?
Well, there's a great attitude about it for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people, the sexy saxophone and there's always been a connection with even like burlesque and jazz music. And so, yeah, I think we're up to the task. I mean, having said that it's a visual, it's a sound thing, we actually kind of went visual on this list, I guess. I don't know.
Man. Actually, so...
Slippery slope, right?
I don't even know if I should say their names, but these two, I played with a long time ago, this sort of famous tenor saxophonist, and he and another very famous tenor saxophonist for like 2 years played in like a burlesque. It was a strip club in Boston. Right. I mean, but like these are two. I'm not going to say their names because I don't know if this is cool. But like
John Coltrane.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, but it was like two cats who were like, really?
Yeah.
And like so.
But that was
they're not sexy though.
Yeah, just because you play in a strip club doesn't. You got to work in a strip club to be sexy. No, I think though that there's the whole thing about like saxophone, especially the there's the famous YouTube guy, Sexy Sax Man.
Oh, that guy is sexy.
He's pretty sexy.
He's very.
Is he on our? He's not on our list. Yeah, where he went into the different malls and.
Oh man.
No, but I mean, like walking the bar as a saxophonist, like as a technique. That's actually a part of the tradition of being able to, play in a certain way where you can elicit that thing that's connected with that instrument. That's kind of cool. So
great.
We actually don't have very many saxophones on our list. That's okay.
Well, they get really good. You got to be kind of a nerd. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we're going to kind of, I think all these people we were thinking are kind of a little bit above the average attractiveness level of a jet. Like, I would say you and I are probably, well, actually, you're a good-looking guy, Adam. I never told you that.
Hey, thanks, bro.
So you're already a little bit above average, but you don't quite come up to the level of these people.
I'm nowhere near anybody on this list. Thank you, though. But you know what? Also, too, I think there's, let's be honest here, like, sexy is really, it's an attitude. So
it is.
All these people that I'm seeing have such a cool vibe,
right?
That it just makes them super attractive,
And some of them just look good.
And some of them just look good.
You work with what you got. All right, let's kick it off. We got number 1, Nat King Cole.
It's a handsome man, right?
That's a handsome man, and so obviously just an incredible musician. So that very sexy. But for the ladies and the fellas that are into guys, he was always like, he had this, what they call matinee idol. They used to, my mom would say.
Like 1,000-watt smile, charm for days.
Yeah, great hair, different styles. And he was really he was on television.
Smooth.
Very smooth, very smooth. And really was groundbreaking with his television show as African-American on TV. I mean, he wasn't the first, but he was one of the first taking his own show. And it's not to say that it was just because he was a good-looking dude. That was just one part of it. He was very TV.
It helps to get on TV.
It helps to get on TV, right?
Yeah.
And but we're so lucky because he was such an amazing pianist,
that's
great jazz musician, an innovator, and everything. He was really the whole package.
Yeah, all these people on this list can back it up.
Yeah,
which is
but
great.
I mean, the ladies love Nat King Cole.
That's true.
We know, and not just now they'd be like the over 80-year-olds. They really go crazy for him.
All right, number 2, we have Billie Holiday.
Yes.
Now, this is not only one of the most beautiful women in the history of jazz, but, she had that sort of that melancholy about her.
Yeah,
that
very
that's,
sexy.
That's your thing.
Yep.
That could drive the boys crazy for sure. So
Yeah, and I mean, Billie Holiday was very sexy, very attractive woman.
Sure.
Very almost like model-esque.
The
really.
voice, too.
And then the voice, though.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, very sexy voice, very attractive. And then again, wonderful that she was such an amazing artist and innovator and improviser and stylist of the music. Great.
number 3.
Yeah, it's your turn, right?
I just went, but I'll go again.
Yeah.
Kurt Elling.
Oh, Kurt.
Speaking of the voice.
Yeah. Kurt, great voice, but Kurt's a good-looking dude.
That's the thing is, yeah.
And I wanted to have him on here too, because Kurt is, much as I am not as you are, is a not horribly visually vertically challenged gentleman, but not the tallest guy you've ever met.
But he looks like kind of a TV star.
He does.
TV stars are not super tall either.
No,
They got to
no.
fit on camera
Right.
with everybody.
Kevin Hart.
Kurt Elling
Very
always
small
reminded me.
man.
He looks like he could be an actor on like CSI Chicago.
Right.
Like
Or
he's kind of the bad boy detective.
Yeah, and he's from Chicago,
And
which
he's
is
from
great.
Chicago, yeah.
Yeah. But good-looking dude, great voice, very sexy voice in terms of
Very
like
cool
within
voice.
the jazz thing.
Yeah.
Soul, what do you call it? Soul patch?
Soul patch.
You got a little soul
I don't
patch?
know if he still has the soul patch.
Yeah, I
but
don't know. Ponytail maybe? Man bun? Something happening. He's always got some good hair stuff going on.
He's got good hair. That's
Good
true.
hair,
Yeah. All right. Who we got?
Now, okay, next, Nancy Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Now, Nancy Wilson, just what a beautiful woman, spirit, soul, amazing vocalist.
Yeah.
But really, she's probably one of the most attractive jazz musicians ever, especially from just your traditional. Are we being politically incorrect here? How much of this can we say?
We can say all
okay,
of it.
Right,
I mean,
good.
come on. There's
Yeah.
still some value.
Model-esque. But I mean, she could have been, still can be, a model.
man. Yeah.
A model. Just
Yeah.
beautiful. And beautiful person. I got the chance to, I actually played on her final concert before she retired at Carnegie Hall.
Really?
Yep.
That's so cool, man.
Yep. That was fun.
Okay, number 5 of our sexiest jazz. I feel like I have to say.
Boom, chicka,
I can't
boom,
just say number 5 of our sexiest. I have to say sexy jazz musicians. Yeah. This is Duke Ellington, one of the suavest gentlemen
Yeah.
of jazz ever.
Right. Very suave.
Yeah.
And then very, like for me, the Duke Ellington kind of sexy because maybe not in the way like Nat King Cole, just this incredible looking guy, but dressed so well. Good looking dude
Totally.
for sure.
Yep.
But like the way he'd move around stage and at the piano, very sexy moves,
Love it.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Number 6, we have Liz Wright.
Yep.
Now, so is this the first kind of more of our generation? Yeah.
Well,
I think
Kurt
so.
Elling.
Oh yeah, Kurt, of course.
Yeah,
So Liz Wright, yeah, I mean, she's to me is kind of like Kurt, like amazing musician, beautiful. Okay, way more beautiful than Kurt. What am I talking about? Kind of like Kurt in that she's, she's younger than Kurt too. No, but I mean, she's just totally sexy,
Yeah.
sexy voice, beautiful woman, beautiful person, really the whole package.
It's so funny. The vibes of all these people are actually pretty similar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no goofballs on the list.
No, and you know what it is? Looking at this list, let's be honest. Like, it's not politically correct to say this nowadays, but all these people have an advantage just in the physical attributes. But they didn't just rest on that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
These are all good-looking people.
But I'm saying I think it's equally like an attitude they have, a confidence
Yeah.
that they all have.
Yeah.
Because next we have.
Well, it's easy to be confident when you look good.
Yeah, I
Come
guess
on.
if you look like Liz Wright, it is easy. No, Miles Davis. You know
Miles
what I
Davis.
mean? Like he was a handsome guy, but he's not like.
But now I'm going to really go off the rails here. He started out, he was very handsome and turned ugly. No, I mean, didn't he kind of?
Well,
a little bit.
Hey, our bodies are always deteriorating, bro. Right
Not
now,
Nancy Wilson.
as we
Not
sit
Nancy
here.
Wilson.
Yeah.
No, Miles I wouldn't say he went downhill, but he had some hard living, maybe a little bit. No, but I mean,
Oh,
they
the
had-
hard living will do it.
Do you remember the
That's true.
SNL when they kind of made fun of him and had a picture of Miles like circa 1981 and a gremlin? It was like when the Gremlins
Oh,
movie
yeah.
was. And he did kind of look like. No, but I mean, that was something the ladies went crazy for Miles. Like he was a great dresser.
Great suits.
And then, of course, you can't separate the amazing, sexy playing
Totally.
from the man. But I mean, he was a real pioneer with fashion and great looking dude, sexy guy.
So number 7 was Miles. Okay, so now we have more sexy musicians coming. That wasn't 7. We have like 12 on here.
Right. Well, we're going to call this 12 sexiest jazz musicians.
Okay, well then that
Why
works
not?
perfectly. All right, so number 8 is Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra, right?
I mean, obviously an icon.
yeah, matinee idol.
A
right?
literally a movie
I
star.
don't even know what that means, matinee. Like they were in the matinees.
Yeah, I mean it's like some. I think a matinee idol is like a a superstar that like teeny boppers love.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Like,
In
and that's
sync.
what he was, though.
Right.
You know,
One Direction.
Like I always think of Frank Sinatra perpetually in like that mid '50s, early '60s vibe.
Yeah.
But let's not forget when he
no.
was like young in the early 20s, he was like the first like.
He was a sex symbol.
Well, yeah, like he was like young girls screaming at him.
Right,
and all
he
this
was
stuff.
Elvis Presley
for sure.
before.
Totally.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't normally necessarily list him as a jazz musician, but I really think for his jazz work, and I mean, he was so. To me, it never really is he a jazz singer or not. Of course, he did other things, but he was kind of always himself.
Yeah.
And he had such a jazz influence. In his stylings, and the way, and he loved being around jazz musicians and just jazz music, that I think he, it's always natural to kind of have him around that.
I always think he counts too. I mean, he was a pop star, but I think he counts.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, next we have Candy Dulfer.
All right, Candy Dulfer.
Well, I mean, I was just like, we have to have some actual, jazz musicians that like dress really sexy and actual. We can't just say their sound was only sexy. She's really, very attractive. Dutch. I don't know if you're familiar with Dutch.
Oh, the Dutch are very attractive people.
And it's a strange place because the name of the country is the Netherlands.
Right, that doesn't
but
make
it's
any
Dutch
sense.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's always fun to talk about. No, but she was actually, I think her father was or is a great musician in the Netherlands as well. But she was always somebody from when I was young and first kind of saw her and then met her going over to Europe playing. I was like, wow, okay, she's sexy.
Nice.
Okay.
Number 10? Number 10.
Yep.
Esperanza Spalding.
Esperanza Spalding.
Yeah, super amazing bassist,
Yeah.
amazing musician.
Great writer.
Great writer, and
Right.
just completely knock your socks off. Beautiful person.
Yeah, very, very attractive, really blessed with amazing musical talents and physical attributes. Next we have, we're number 11. We're coming towards the end. I see we were veering away from the men. We're going straight women at this point. That's okay.
Yeah, well,
A little cultural bias on the host part.
Hey
Number
man,
11.
we included Kurt Elling and Duke Ellington.
We did good.
We did pretty good
And
for a couple
Miles
of
and Frank's,
of dudes.
Yeah. Okay, so number 11 is Norah Jones.
Super cute.
Yeah, very cute and very,
Yeah.
again, I mean, everything that we've
And the voice again.
the voice,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
sexy voice,
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
you never saw her.
Yeah.
And I think, her she's been doing more jazz kind of trio stuff lately. And so I've kind of,
She's doing it with your trio.
she kind of stole my, a little bit. Chris Thomas and Brian Blake.
Yeah, that's like your boys. There.
Yeah, so that's kind of got me tuned in again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've always been a big fan, and she's a super, super nice, sweet person, and great pianist.
Yeah.
Sexy singer, sexy pianist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, back in the day, I had more than one girlfriend that would play Norah Jones music all the time. So,
Nice.
Yeah. Number 12?
Yeah.
Diana Krall.
Diana Krall, yeah.
It's like that is like the epitome of like sexy jazz.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I know, and I feel a little bit weird having her on the list, but I'm glad we have it at the end, only because I've known Dinah for a long time.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you should email her and be like, "Hey, Diana, you made
number 12
number
on our
12 of our
list."
sexiest."
Yeah, number 1 was Nat King Cole. No, big shout out to Diana. But I think that, she definitely, I mean, first of all, Diana's beautiful.
Sure.
Beautiful, so attractive, such an amazing musician, sexy voice, the same kinds of
Sexy music.
the
Yeah,
whole thing.
yeah.
And I mean, if when people see that we're gonna have a list of the sexiest jazz musicians, I mean, for a huge swath of the world's population, they think of her first, or as one of the main ones.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Hey, you know who we left off the list?
Who?
Your boy, Chris Botti. That's some
Oh, my
come
God.
on,
Okay,
man.
we're going 13.
That's like
We're going-
epitome of sexy jazz musician right there.
What are we
The
doing?
steely
Look,
gaze,
I'm-
the reverbed out trumpet. Come on,
Oh
man.
that's okay. Now I'm
Woo!
actually changing it to 13, but that's unlucky. So we got to do one more.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you think of one while I talk about Chris
Okay,
Botti.
you got it, you got it.
So yeah, Chris Botti. Now things I never thought I'd say.
Yeah, sure.
Chris Botti is a sexy jazz musician.
Oh, come on.
No, but he is. And now I've been around. I used to play with him some and known him for years. But Chris Botti, I mean, the ladies, there's something about him and the trumpet. But really, like everybody else, he knows how to connect the whole thing. I mean, he's a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
But he really knows how to connect it with that front man kind of trumpet thing. But he kind of has tapped into that Miles thing a lot. And I mean, I think if you asked him, he would say, well, I know he's studied Miles
Yeah, he loves
a
Miles.
lot, and it's kind of coming out of that in a way that really, takes advantage of that instrument and being a dude and being in the front, but a little bit like kind of demure, almost a little bit of Chet Baker in there, thrown in there.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. No. Yeah. Chet Baker would count.
yeah. He got ugly at the end too, though.
Boy, yeah.
Hard living.
You know who I'm going to throw in?
Yeah.
Grover Washington Jr.
Grover, well, I like it.
Only
That's
just
a great place
for
to end.
all the babies that got made off of those albums.
Absolutely. And really, he's kind of our only smooth. And you know what? We've talked about this before. He gets thrown in like kind of inventor of smooth jazz, but what an amazing saxophonist.
Great player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wherever smooth jazz fell off the rails, it was not Grover's fault.
Saxy music.
That's saxy. that's the saxy saxophonist right there.
All right. Well, this was a. Yeah, this is a. I don't know.
Ooh, we made it through this one.
Send your letters to Peter Martin.
Care of Open Studio. Yeah.
No, man, this is great.
fun.
I love the sexiest jazz musicians. I think jazz gets a bad rap about being too nerdy and whatever. It's good to kind of reaffirm that, hey, we got sex appeal over
That's
here.
right. We got 14 of them. Of course, we could name about 1,400 ugly. We'll do that next. That'll be an easier list for us.
Those
to
are
do.
all our other lists.
Of nerdy, bad-looking jazz
Troll,
musicians.
practice room spending, like Doritos eating, whiskey drinking, just
Right.
cigarettes everywhere.
That's right. All right. Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, until tomorrow.
You'll hear it.